Thank you. Good morning. We are Zoe Laidlaw. We are Zoe Laidlaw and
Julie Gillis.
And it's our joy to welcome you to this worship service of the Rogue Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship in Ashland, Oregon. Whether you are in the Great Hall or joining us online, we are glad to have you with us, and we invite you to join us in our mission, embracing diversity, empowering connection, and engaging in the work. It takes many people to create this experience. We thank all our staff and volunteers for their contribution. And special thanks to our guest speaker this morning, Kim McKandes from BASE. That stands for Black Alliance and Social Empowerment. If you're a newcomer, we invite you to sign up for our mailing list on rvuuf.org. You will receive a weekly email that gives you all the information you need to make your decision about whether you'd like to join us on Sunday morning on-site or online. You will also learn about other great things going on at ROOF. For example, I'm pleased to tell you about the 21st annual ROOF Women's Retreat. It takes place at St. Rita's Retreat Center in Gold Hill the last weekend in September, and I can tell you from my own experience, it's a rare opportunity to refuel your spirit and connect with other awesome women here at ROOF. Please see Katie Fox in the lobby after the service for more information.
Also, everyone is welcome back. It's a welcome back picnic at RVUUF Roof right here after the service next Sunday, little al fresco. Please sign up either today in the lobby or under the balcony so that we will know that you're here. And let us know what potluck dish you're gonna be contributing, and all ages are welcome. We have two more announcements. Jan Wyatt, come up here and tell us about something special.
I'm Jan Wade, a senior member of ROOF, but Carol Lacey, who's sitting right here in front, is the most senior of us all, and she turns 102 years old today. And she's sharing her birthday cake with us.
Thanks, Jan. And then Nancy, you want to come up and tell us about another event?
Good morning, everyone. We're having more social events, and we're all having so much fun doing that. We have the potluck on the 8th, and on September 20th, we are having a fun and delicious spaghetti dinner. So please sign up. That's Friday, September 20th, $20 each. Children 12 and under are free, so bring your family and friends. But please sign up in the back or in the lobby. There are sign-up sheets because we need to know how many to plan for. Thank you.
As we begin our service today, we acknowledge that we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. And we honor those seekers of wisdom and compassion, people of various spiritual traditions who understand the sacredness of all life, including the indigenous Americans whose home was on this land. I am part of ROOF because of the curiosity and joy and seeking of this community. Zoe says she loves ROOF because it helps her grow and serve. I know each of you have your own reasons for being here, and I hope that this morning will provide you with something that resonates in your heart and your mind. So welcome and thank you for being with us. On the first Sunday of each month, we accept donations of food and money for the Ashland Community Food Bank. The food bank serves people in Ashland, Talent, and surrounding areas. So please come up and you can bring your donations.
Never close the box too early. Thank you so much.
Black history isn't a separate history. This is all of our history. This is American history, and we need to understand that. It has such an impact on kids and their values and how they view Black people. That's Karen Parsons, actress and author.
Morning. We're going to sing our first hymn today. Can I have my mic on? Number 146 in the gray hymnal. Soon the day will arrive. Please stand in body or spirit. And Jane will play a little ditty for us to start.
Good morning. I'm Suzanne Anderson, and I'm here to light the anti-racism candle. and I'm a member of the anti-racism study team. Many of you may be wondering what our anti-racism group does when we meet. Well, first of all, we try to go deeper in our own understanding of race and our stories we share with one another. Next, we educate ourselves about racism. This includes making connections with a network of other groups in the Valley, such as BASE and Ashland Together. I have a poem to read today. I chose this because it really speaks to me of determination and the perseverance we will need on this path towards racial justice. And it's called Desert Flowers by Manesh Mishra Marzetti. Improbably, the wind-blown seed found its way here in a long, beautiful stretch of land, but one that was hot, dry, and arid. A spark of life resting in an unprepared desert. Quenching life-giving sustenance, the rain comes and goes, even if infrequently, sometimes only a few drops at a time, and the seed begins to take root, possibly brought alive. But what life is this amidst the harshness? Pocket mice, rattlesnakes, camel spiders, danger and hospitality lurking everywhere. One chance encounter gone wrong could bring death to the seedling. And yet, somehow, the intrinsic invitation to thrive, to flourish and grow, finds a way even when it's a struggle. Poking gentle earth, a beautiful pink 5 improbably. We are those wind-blown seeds. The universe is longing for life, for thriving, for beauty, even when it's against the odds.
Each Sunday when we gather, we light a candle for peace. We honor and hold a vision of peace in our hearts, peace in our relationships, peace in our communities, and peace in the world. Today's quote is from Malcolm X. You can't separate peace from freedom because no one can be at peace unless he has his freedom.
And now, I get to read a story, and It's on. Maybe it takes a minute to catch up. Now can you hear me? No. Louder? Talk loud. Okay, I'll speak. Oh, there. Now I get to read a story, and I hope that I hope there will be somebody who'd like to see the pictures and will come up and join me. It's called Black is a Rainbow Color.
Bring your mic up more, Joey.
Black is a rainbow color. This is written by Angela Joy and illustrated by Aqua Holmes. Red is a rainbow color. Green sits next to blue. Yellow, orange, violet, indigo, they are rainbow colors too. But my color is black. There is no black in rainbows. Black is a crayon tangled in a box. Black is a feather on white winter snow. Black is the dirt where sunflowers grow. My color is black. Black are the braids in my best friend's hair. Black are the bottoms of summertime feet. Black are the soft circles that spin down the street. My color is black. Black is a rhythm. Black is the blues. Black is sidewalking in spit-shined shoes. Black is the robe on Thurgood's back. Black are the trains on railroad tracks. Black are the eyes on salted peas. Black are the shadows on old magnolia trees. Black is molasses from tall sugar cane. Black is soft singing. Hush now, don't explain. Black is a skillet for bread to fry. Black are dreams and raisins left in the sun to die. Black is the color of ink, staining page. Black is the mask that covers his rage. Black are the birds in cages that sing. Black is a color. Black is a culture. Black is history. Black is family. Black is memory. Black is community. Black is the love that lives inside of me. My color is black. Black are the stones bearing witness to prayer. Black is the faith in a freedom not seen. Black is the man who gave the world his prayer, his dream. Black is a color. Black is a culture. Black is the heart of candle and flame. Black is the power of a movement in pain. Black are the branches that carry my name, weaving, wrapping, lifting, laughing, hoping, grasping, quiet, strong. Our color is black. So you see, there is no black in rainbows, no black in green or blue. But in my box of crayons, black is a rainbow color too.
This morning's reading is from Michelle Obama's book, The Light We Carry. Someday, we will look back on the time that we're in. We will view it from a different historical perch, as a set of future circumstances that we can hardly imagine now. I wonder what we will make of this time. What will feel recognizable and what will feel ancient? Which stories will get told? What changes will we have managed to make? What will we have forgotten and what will we have enshrined? It can be difficult to talk about helpful ideas, things like repair, restoration, and reinvention, in part because next to everything that has made us fearful and sad in recent years, all the tangible and concrete ways we have suffered, these can feel like comparatively abstract concepts. But progress requires creativity and imagination. It always has. Ingenuity is born of boldness. We have to be able to envision what's possible, summoning it from the unknown. Whatever does not yet exist, the sort of world we hope to live in order to even begin to actualize the plan to get there. Every latent dream awakens only when someone is glad for it. When a teacher says, "I am glad you came to school today," or a colleague says, "I'm glad you're expressing your thoughts," or a life partner says, "I am glad that after all this time, you still wake up next to me in the morning." We can remember to give these messages first, to put them up front. And I'm glad we work side by side. I am glad for who you are, and I'm glad for myself too. This is the light we carry, and the light we are capable of sharing.
Okay, we're gonna sing. I was just looking.
Oh,
Please join me in our centering song this morning, page 389 in your gray hymnal. I'm going to do this as a round, so... 389 in your gray hymnal. Please rise and body your spirit. We're going to do a round singing all together, all the way from the beginning to the end, one time. Then this side is going to start, and you're going to sing it 2 times more. Then I'm going to start you, and you're going to sing 2 times more. Okay. Okay, we got it? Got it. Part 1, part 2. Here we go. Oh, never mind. I'll get one. Yes. On the other hand, I can start anywhere I want. That'd be fun. Oh, sorry. Page turned. Whew. Thought it was an N. Oh, same note. Who knew? So here we go. Ready and gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. In the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near.
Good morning. Can you all hear me? If I say I'm a loud guy, so typically I don't even need microphones. It's kind of funny. First of all, I'm gonna do something and then I'm gonna go to another place. So first of all, my name's Kim McKandes. We'll get into all that introduction stuff here soon. Not necessary now. However, the reading this morning was so awesome. when we're talking about glad, where I grew up and growing up in the church, there was something that we used to sing coming in, a gospel, just a couple of words. It was, I'm so glad to be in the service, so glad to be in this service. I'm so glad to be in the service one more time. Oh, you didn't have to let me live. Oh, you didn't have to let me live. But I'm so glad to be in the service one more time. Thank you. And when she was reading that, it just brought me back to when I was a kid. I haven't sang that song in about 30 years or so. And it just brought it back, and I'm like, I'm so glad to be in this service. God didn't have to allow me to wake up this morning, but I'm thankful that I'm here on this side of the dirt with you all. So, there is something, let's see if this is gonna come up. Uh-oh. No signal yet. It's okay. Well, my name is Kim McKandes. There's something I want to say. I want you all to repeat it after me. Say, Sawubona. Sawubona. Now let's break it down. Sa-wu-bo-na. Sawubona. Now, that is a Zulu term. Sawubona literally means I see you. But the actual meaning, the heart meaning of it is, I value you and I appreciate the fact that I'm able to be with you. So, for you all this morning, Sawubona. I see you. I see you. I also in my culture, so to explain this about myself, it doesn't like me. It's okay. I did my wonderful DNA testing, found out some things. It's kind of interesting. So if you look on the program, you see on there it says Kim McKandes, McKandes. Yes. That's an Irish name, correct? For most that looked at that, that's an MC, yeah, he's Irish. And then you see me and you're like, oof. And then you see the name Kim and you're like, wait, he's not English, he's not Welsh, he's not Asian. Okay, there's a lot of mixtures there going on with just the name alone. Well, I found out that I'm Cameroonian. I found out that I'm Nigerian. I found out that I am Irish. Yes, I have 27%. That's a lot. Irish, I'm Welsh, I'm Danish. I know, right? I'm also Wampanoag Native. For those that don't know, that is actually a black native tribe from the northeast portion of the United States, Massachusetts area. They still have native tribal land there. So, in saying all of this, I got to reach out to a lot of people through Ancestry.com. You know, they give you a little list saying you're connected to these people, and they give you an opportunity to possibly reach out if you like. And I did, and I got to meet members from Ireland. They're connected to my ancestors' slave owners. I got to connect with one gentleman from the Cameroon. And so I'm like excited. I'm like, I am the Rainbow Coalition. I am. So the book reading this morning was talking about Black is Rainbow. I'm like, yes, that's me. All right, I know I'm supposed to move quickly. I'm sorry. I'm also a pastor, for those that don't know. And so I'm a talker. And being a black preacher, I can talk for a long time. But I'm going to honor and respect you all's time this morning, and I just thank you all so much. I just thank you all for having me. So, all right, well, thank you. I like it. You're talking back. That's the other thing about black preachers. We talk longer if you don't talk back. So remember that. All right. But this morning, I am not here in that capacity. I'm actually here in the capacity of BASE, which is the Black Alliance of Social Empowerment. Quickly about me, I am an ex-gangbanging, ex-drug-dealing, black and Puerto Rican man. I didn't share that. From the city of Chicago. I was born in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Moved to the United States when I was 2. Grew up in Chicago, left Chicago and joined, brings me to my next point. I'm also a U.S. veteran. I joined the United States Air Force, and this was during Desert Storm. So I got to travel the country as well as go overseas. Opened my eyes to a lot of different things living in the South. I was stationed in Texas. Then I was stationed in Las Vegas. I was able to do what's called TDYs, or tour duties, over in Korea, Germany, Japan, Italy, back to Korea. So I was able to travel to a number of places. And once again, like I said, opened my eyes to a lot of things. A lot of things that I was shielded from, being from the south side of Chicago. I grew up 7 blocks away from where Michelle Obama grew up. There are a couple of celebrities that I grew up with, and actually one gave me my start in singing. A lot of people don't really know him that well, but if they watch certain TV shows, movies, things like that, it's a gentleman by the name of Common. He is a rapper. We actually grew up together. He got a rap deal, and he allowed me to sing for him at a couple of shows, and then that just kind of opened me up, and then I became a singer. I was like, I love this thing. But the military changed all that. Then I got married, had 4 children, and now I have 4 grandchildren. Yes, and I have 1 on the way. Number 5. For some reason, my family doesn't like to give us boys. So I'm very thankful that we have girls, because they all wrap me around their finger. They're all like, Pops let's go ask Pops. We won't talk to anybody else, go ask Pops. Because they know they're going to get it. It's just that simple. I'm going to give it to them. I'll give them a hard time, but they'll still get it. I also work for the state, and that's my full-time job. I am the statewide incarcerated veterans coordinator for the Oregon Department of Veteran Affairs. I travel to all 12 prisons, state prisons in the state, and I work with veterans that are incarcerated to make sure that they're still receiving their benefits and that they're not being shafted. I can say that, right? And make sure that they're being taken care of. So no, I do not work for the federal VA. I'm not going to make any commentaries there. However, with the state VA, we are go-betweens. Our job is to make sure that veterans are taken care of. So that's what I do full-time. Wow. But then on the side, I know I got a lot of stuff. It's crazy. I had a lot of stuff. Did it pop up? It did not.
It did flatten. There was a screen where
it did.
I recognized it.
Oh, it worked, and then I wasn't paying attention.
Just for a flash.
But with the state, I switched over to ODVA after working with the Oregon Youth Authority, which brings me to pretty much my work with BASE. With the Oregon Youth Authority, when I first moved here to Oregon in 2007, I joined on with the Youth Authority because, being the ex-gang-banging drug dealer from Chicago, I wanted to make sure that I gave young people the same hand that I got. I wanted to help them see that there was more. So with the Youth Authority, I ended up becoming the racial equity counselor. I basically traveled between our campuses and made sure that every person from a marginalized community had resources available to them so that they'd be able to, 1, stay connected to their culture, but 2, that they weren't slighted, to make sure that they had the resources they needed in order to succeed, which is equity. Making sure that a person has everything that they need in order to succeed. I am not a proponent of equality. I am a proponent of equity. If we give everybody the exact same thing, okay, here we go. I'm gonna say this and then I'm done with this part. I hate the term, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Cannot stand it. Reason being, there are a lot of people that don't have boots. So how can they pull themselves up by the bootstraps if they don't even have the boots? So my purpose in life, this is my why, is to make sure that everyone has boots. I want to make sure that you have everything that you need in order to succeed. I could care less about your color. I could care less about your gender. I could care less about your identity. I want to make sure you have, as a person, what you have to succeed. Now, where gender, identity, and culture and color and ethnicity does come in is that I see you, sawubona. If I say that I'm colorblind, I can't celebrate you. If I say that I'm colorblind, I can't make sure that you have everything that you need. I can't. So I have to see you. I have to see your culture. I have to see your ethnicity because I want to stand there and applaud right with you. And I do that through base. So quickly, let's run through this. I had a video and everything. Oh, well, it's okay. It's okay. I know I can't pull it up for all of you all to see. I was going to say, I'll just turn it around. That won't work. It probably won't work. I doubt it if everyone will be able to see. With base, I put on my reading glasses. My 50-year-old eyes said no. So I have to make them say yes. So with base actually began in 2020. In 2019, there were a number of students at SOU that weren't able to go home during the summer, weren't able to go home during June. So there were a couple of individuals, one which we'll talk about in a moment, who decided, you know what, Juneteenth is coming up, the 4th of July is coming up, and there are a number of you that are African American, of African descent, and you need community. You want community, you want to be able to celebrate Juneteenth. Let's put together a little barbecue. So they put together a little barbecue in the park here in Ashland, and it was about 20, 25 people or so came out, and they had this barbecue. And they said, you know, excuse me, what would be awesome if we did this every year? So one of the gentlemen, his name is Vance Beach, he is our executive director for base. He said, we need more than that. He said, now that because he basically moved here to Ashland. He came to Ashland through SOU football scholarship. He said, but I want to stay here. I love it here. And what he noticed was that there was no true representation for African Americans, for black folks, not much representation at all in Southern Oregon. Not only was there not much representation, but there wasn't much community. It was spread out, almost segregated within the culture. So he said he wanted to be able to bring everyone together and let you know that community is a place that you should be able to call home, but it should be a safe place. So he decided, let's put together base. This would be awesome. It started out as Black Alliance and social events. It was all about, okay, on one hand, let's get together, let's party, let's barbecue, let's eat, let's have a good time, which is what black people do. We love that. Soul food, I'm telling you, it's our thing. We love to barbecue, we love to eat. We love to come together, tell stories, play spades, play cards, things like that, play bones, slap them hard on the table and yell out, domino, and scare everybody around. But then he said, it's more than just that. So it then changed to the Black Alliance and social empowerment. It was all about empowering our people in order to feel as though that we are part of a community. So I'm going to share a couple of things, if my tablet will allow me to share this. One of the things that had to be done in order for the black community to feel safe in Southern Oregon was to first know the history of Oregon. So for those that don't know, this was the white state. And by the white state, and why I emphasize the, is because there was no other state in the United States that made it completely against the law for any person of color to live. It was the first and the only to have it on its books and to actually put it in writing. So, for instance, you have places like Montana, Wyoming. They were considered white states, but they were smart enough to not write it down. Oregon was bold. We're going to write it down. We're going to put it in our Constitution. We're going to let it be known. At a certain time of day, when that sun starts to go down, if there's any person of color that's in this state, one of three things will happen. One, they will be arrested. Two, they will go according to what's called a lash law. They would get whipped. Yes. Three, ties into number 1 and number 2. It would be forced labor. So it was their way of making slavery legal that would not cause a division and a rift between parties. This is the state of Oregon. Not only that, there were a number of laws put on the books to keep people of color away. And by people of color, I'm not just talking about African Americans. I'm talking about Asians. I'm talking about natives whose land this was originally and still is. I'm talking about natives. And what they put in the books as the term, and I quote, half-breeds. The term half-breed was in the Oregon Constitution until 2002. Yeah. So we felt as though it was important for people to know this history. Why? Because of another African term. And this term is Sankofa. S-A-N-K-O-F-A. Sankofa. And what this means is it's an Ndinkra term. And it actually means to look back to know where you're going. The symbol itself is a bird. You'll notice a bird that has his head turned back over his shoulder, and it looks like it's a ball in its mouth. And that symbol is the actual Ndinkra symbol for Sankofa. So we base on the principles of Kwanzaa, but then also African proverbs. And so understanding Sankofa and understanding Kwanzaa helps you to understand where you're going in our community, is what we feel. So I could list even more laws and exclusions that Oregon had on the books. Another one that just recently got taken out, wasn't enforced, but it was taken out in 2010, was the minority driving fee. There was a tax. In order to be non-white and drive in the state, you had to pay a specific tax. Insurance companies also charged it, so you had to pay a double tax. Not only that, you also had a land tax for being non-white, and the term in the Constitution said non-white. So, in saying that, number of these things that just were taken out language-wise between 2000 and 2010, there are systemic things that are rooted in this state when it comes to exclusion, but then also when it comes to separation. We just don't want you here. The things said in there, we just don't want you here in so many terms. So how can I feel safe in a place where the policies and the statutes say that I'm not welcome? That's what I love about BASE. BASE came together to say you are welcome. And we're going to step up to fight to make sure that these systemic changes happen. In doing so, we did 3 things. 1, we began a youth program to make sure that all youth are fed into in the Black community, or those that have African descent. We also wanted to make sure that we connected with municipalities. We have a program with BASE that is called the Racial Equity Liaison Program. The Racial Equity Liaison Program, we work in partnership, and a lot of people look at us like, wait, really? We work in partnership with the Jackson County Sheriff Department, Medford Police Department, Talent Police Department, Phoenix Police Department, Ashland Police Department, Central Point Police Department. I feel like I'm missing one. Talent, Phoenix, Central Point, Ashland. I'll leave that alone. We do not work with Eagle Point. I'll leave that alone right now. Well, off record, we can have a conversation. However, we came together with these law enforcement agencies because of a reason. And there was a reason, not just because of the past, but for this main reason. I don't know if those of you all here, I think it was held here, actually, ORD2, that was held here a few years ago, to talk about, equity and to talk about, diversity. after that meeting and the George Floyd murder, the African American community in Southern Oregon felt as though that there was not much representation from the African American community. We had a lot of allies, a lot of people that stood next to us and said, no, we're going to fight the power too. Started playing Isley Brothers, fight the power. It was awesome. However, the black community felt as though they were slighted because they didn't even know that some of these things were happening. Not only happening, but a number of them felt as though my experiences aren't really being shared. So we had 2 community meetings. Within those, there were some police officers that came and listened. I know, right? And then Vance Beach, our executive director, being as forward-thinking and as bold as he is, another reason why I love him, he just went to the chiefs and said, listen here. I'll leave it at listen here. And those chiefs nodded and said, we agree. I know. So then they signed agreement contracts with us. Memos, they signed them. I wish we had it. I'd show you the pictures. I have the pictures of them signing it. I have the pictures of them shaking our hands when we did it. And ever since this day, in 2021, we have been working in concert with them, helping to hold them accountable, but then also helping the community understand that you genuinely don't have to be afraid of law enforcement, even though it's ingrained in us generationally because of past traumas. But we're trying to bridge that gap and help them understand we are all people. Some have a little more authority than the other. And because of that, we want to deal with that too, that dynamic. So with this program, we meet with the chiefs regularly, every other week. I am the co-chair of that committee and I love it. I am able to tell them exactly what I think, when I think it, what's an issue, why is this an issue, and question the issue. And even right now, we're dealing with the whole, which we won't go into, we're dealing with the whole new jail thing in Jackson County. We're dealing with mental health treatments in the area, which we've had to force some people to see because they refuse to see, and some just don't care. But that's what BASE does. Also, and this is going to be very quick and brief in saying this, we're also working to deal with the situation that's happening in Medford with the school board and Michael Williams. So, BASE is an organization to make sure that we work with the entire community. We are not exclusive. However, we feel as though we need to focus on those of African descent because of the history of Oregon, and to make sure that there is a sense of belonging. Now, when it comes to our babies, they are the biggest part of BASE. We have a number of programs. When it comes to our youth, we have BASE Youth, which used to be called the Afro Scouts. We changed that term and it's now, or changed the name and it's now BASE Youth. We also have BASE Boys, because we feel as though the young black men need a little extra attention to kind of break some generational traumas, especially seeing as though black boys is the only, so it's the only population between the age, well, I won't even say between the age, from the age of 12 that is seen as a threat. It's the only community. Other communities, 12, rites of passage. Hey, you're getting big, you're getting grown. Oh, I love it, you're my little man, I love you. But with a 12-year-old black kid, it's gangs, drugs, gonna get killed by police. It's a fact, and it's something that we have to deal with. However, we did not want our girls to feel excluded because there's also some things that our girls have to deal with. So coming soon, pending funding, is BASE Girls, which is gonna be really cool to do. Now, when it comes to BASE Youth, we take them so many places. We do so many things. Take you back to my childhood and my youth. Inner city Chicago. never really been outside of Chicago, South Side, except for when my father, who raised me, was originally from Jackson, Mississippi, he would take me to Mississippi so I learned how to pick peanuts, tobacco, things like that, only because it's like, boy, you will work. And that's literally what he said, boy, you will work. And his hands, he had these amazing calluses on them. And I say amazing for a reason. It's not a bad thing. And he had this crazy work ethic. And I mean, he would sweat and it's pouring off of him when we're, at home in Chicago, and I'm crying about, do I have to cut the grass? Oh my gosh, I don't want to pull another weed, Dad, why? And it would just pour off of him, and he'd just sing, and he'd just smile. And I'm like, what is this? And he took me there so that I would learn that they had to do it to survive. But now I own land, and I do it because it makes me happy. So I'm going to teach you that work ethic of how to be happy working for what you own. It's a great thing. But that was the only thing I had. So I ended up becoming a part of a program through the University of Chicago when I was in high school, where I was able to be involved in Shakespeare in the Round, there at the school, different jazz festivals. I got to meet people I never thought I would ever meet. Andrew Young, who, Georgia, I got to meet Maynard Young. I got to meet all of the original Harlem Globetrotters before they passed. I got to spend time with Goose Gossage. I got to spend time with Curly Neal one-on-one, actually mentored me. I was able, I don't know if anyone knows who Maulana Karenga is. If you know about Kwanzaa, the originator of Kwanzaa, I got to spend time with him, and then I got to intern for Jesse Jackson with the Rainbow Coalition and Operation Push. John Stroger, who was a representative from Chicago, and they named hospitals and expressways after him in Illinois. I'm like, I got to meet people I never thought I would meet. Lou Gossett Jr. got to do a Q&A one-on-one with him, and it was all because of this program. Then I would spend 2 weeks in the summer in the dorms at the University of Chicago, and I would have to go to some place of faith on a Sunday, but couldn't go back to the neighborhood of where I used to go to church. I had to live in the dorms. I had to go over and listen to lectures of people that I thought were boring. And then I'm like, but this is amazing. But my horizons were broadened. And so, when it comes to base youth, we said that's what we want to do. So, they've been able to go out here to the green stage, and they've gone to a number of Shakespeare plays. We've taken them to Washington, D.C. so they can learn about Black history, American history, and the history of the establishment of our country. All of this is free to them. We charge them nothing. We've taken them up to hang out at every school in the state. OSU, U of O. They were escorted at U of O by the women's basketball team, got to hang out with them, and during the game, they went out on the floor with them. I'm not super excited about that because, yes, I am a Beaver. Go Beavs. And so needless to say, we had them at OSU as well. And they were with the men's football team and the basketball team. But then they got to hang out with some of the professors. And what was really cool is that they got to see their own color teaching classes, something that a lot of them have never seen. So we've done that. We've taken them up to Portland Trailblazer games, and the Black Pioneers took them around the city to show them all the different landmarks and places, even on Underground Railroad in Portland, that a lot of people don't even know. They got to see things like that. They hung out with the Trailblazers. We got pictures of them with Steph Curry and others of them hanging out. So we try to broaden their horizons. Next year, pending funding, we are fighting for this and we are praying for this. Our plan, so to Washington, D.C., this was just last month. Well, it's September now, so that was 2 months ago. We took 30. Our plan in 2025 is to take a minimum 40 youth to Ghana. And so we are fighting for it right now. Funding is an issue, but we're thankful, that there are people who are willing to give and to support our youth and understand that there are things within their culture that they need to see and to learn. I'm sorry, I'm trying to move quickly through all these things. We do cultural events. For those that have seen the Kwanzaa and the Juneteenth events that happen here in Southern Oregon, those are base events. We have the second largest Juneteenth celebration in the state of Oregon, in Medford. I know, right? Of course, Portland beats us. They do a 2-day thing. We do a 1-day from 11 in the morning until 7 at night. This past year, we had a record number, over 2,000, to attend the event. And it's grown every year since we've begun, and we're so thankful for that. Our Kwanzaa celebration we do every year here in Ashland. We do it at the Ashland Armory. I invite all of you there. It's fun. We have a good time. We have our African drummers that come in. We do a full Kwanzaa celebration. I get up and I do some weird things. So I'm typically the voice of bass. So at all our events, I MC, I host, but I also have multiple personalities. And that's putting it nicely. I celebrate my grandmother, Cleo Newton, who passed. She was born in 1909, and she was one of those women that I tell you would say the most outlandish, off-the-wall things to teach you such great lessons. And if we weren't in the church, I'd probably tell you some of the things that she would say to me. But I'm telling you, she would just, and she talked like this. Hey, baby, how you doing, sugar? Come here. Let me give you a hug, baby. Hug my neck, baby. And she would just teach me great things. And so, in order to honor her, I dress up like her. I know. But I teach things while doing it. So, it's not me just, I have multiple personalities, but I do. And I had an uncle that kind of did the same, and so I do. That's a personality too. But I do that at different events. We have dancers. We have drummers. We have bands and musicians that come and say, we just want to be a part. We have restaurants. This past year at our Juneteenth event, we had 77 booths and vendors to be a part. We want to at least add 20 for the next year. And we want it to be our biggest celebration that we've done. We're just so thankful for our events and how it brings community together. But we also do these things called say hays. Say hey, say hey, say hey. Every quarter, we do an event. Bowling, band night, game night, just different things, an event where we invite the community out. But we want the African American community to see that there are more of you here. Get to know all of us, but not only get to know all of us, let's get to know our entire community. Let's let everybody come together in unity. Let us since we live together, let us party together. Let us hang together. Let us laugh together, so on and so forth. And so that's what our say hays are. All of these things are all centered around our youth. Even though this is for the entire community, we want our youth to be showcased in all of these things. So at our Juneteenth event, at our Kwanzaa event, at our Say Hays, any event that we do, our youth are always center stage. So we put them on the stage. When it comes to Kwanzaa, they come up, they dance, they sing. We have 4 amazing orators. And we have more than 100 youth that we work with right now. I think that was our last number, was just over 100. And we have, out of those, 4 that are amazing orators. And so we make sure that they get on stage and they give their speeches. And they speak to the people from their minds, their hearts, their feelings. They talk about their past traumas and how they're overcoming those things. I mean, these kids are amazing. We have the musicians and singers we have are ridiculous as well with the kids that we have. We try to do things with sports. We just do amazing things with our kids, and we put them center stage so everyone can see and everyone can hear exactly what it is that we do with our babies. They are our main focus, because without them, as the song says, I believe the children are our future. And so we treat them as our future. So, to finish and to close, Black preachers say that a lot of times too. Closing. And that'll be about 20 minutes worth of it. I will not do that to you. In closing, not only do we do events, not only do we bring our community together, not only do we work with our police departments and our municipalities, but we also work with other organizations throughout the valley to show that we are unified with this community, period. And so we're thankful to work with Jackson Care Connect. We're thankful to work with Resolve, Lawyers for Justice, the ACLU, Jackson County Sexual Assault Response Team. We work with Southern Oregon University's Criminology Department mainly. We have Black student unions at every school in the area, at our high schools and our middle schools. We're thankful to work with Rogue Workforce Partnership. We work with Unite Oregon, Southern Oregon Education Service District, Medford School District, the United Way. We work with the city of Ashland. We're just thankful we work with the Ashland Independent Film Festival. We work with a number of organizations showing that we are unified with you and that we join arms with you. And so we're thankful that today we're working with you all as well. And we just appreciate the opportunity not to just be here with you, but to just be with you. We are with you. Understand that and know that. And so I am thankful to have been invited, and I want to thank Ms. Dolores, who is amazing, sitting on the front row. As she shakes her head, I'm going to bring all the attention to you. That's right. She has on the greatest color today, and it just, oh, you're so beautiful. So I thank you. I thank Zoe. I thank Julie. And I also thank your pastor in his absence. And so I apologize that I wasn't able to spend time with him. But I thank you all for allowing me to be here with you. I appreciate you so much. And so we're going to end the same way we began. First of all, I'm going to say to you, any information that you would like more of, baseoregon.org is our website. baseoregon.org. You'd be able to see the video that I had for you, everything there, all information about all our programs, how we got started, our background, everything you'd want to know about BASE pretty much is on there. Also, you can reach me. You can reach Vance Beach through the website as well. All our information is listed. You can just click on the thing. If you do it on your cell phone, you can click and just call me right from the website if you want. Same with him. Voicemail. You can do the voicemail if I don't answer. Email, so on and so forth. And know that we are committed to making sure that the lines of communication are always open. So like I said, I end the way that we began, and I say, Saubona. I see you, and I appreciate you. Thank you.
Saubona, Kim. Each week we take an offering to support the mission and work of ROOF. Your contribution is immediately put to work for services like this one and other programs for our congregation, also for outreach in our community and beyond. We will now give and receive the morning offering. for these gifts and everything you give this congregation and the world. Thank you.
This is a tune you all know. Some may not even need the book, but Gray Hymnal number 118, This Little Light of Mine. And this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building up a world, building up a world. I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world. I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it
Thank you so much, Kim. Reverend Kim. Our closing words are from John Lewis. You are a light. You are the light. Never let anyone, any person, or any force dampen, dim, or diminish your light. Study the path of others to make your way easier and more abundant. Lean into the whispers of your own heart. Discover the universal truth and follow its dictates. Release the need to hate, to harbor division, and the enticement of revenge. Release all bitterness. Hold only love, only peace in your heart, knowing that the battle of good to overcome evil is already won. Choose confrontation wisely, but when it is your time, don't be afraid to stand up, and speak out against injustice. And if you follow your truth down the road to peace and the affirmation of love, if you shine like a beacon for all to see, then the poetry of all the great dreamers and philosophers is yours to manifest in a nation, a world community, and a beloved community that is finally at peace with itself.